These men are not professionals. They are still working on technical difficulties. You have been warned.
All right, we have a special guest today. I want you to announce your friend.
This is Andy Orlando from Midwest Jeep.
One of the largest Jeep clubs, or the largest, am I correct?
The largest
in North America?
The country, in the U.S.
Yes, this son of a bitch. We love that. But guess what? We always start with defund the idiots. You know why? Because we have a lot of people that are in control of our lives, that are politicians, local and federal, that need to, have their ass waxed. And that's why I wrote this song.
It's time to defund all the idiots. Well, we're back to green, brown, blue. Do us right, how about you? The world's crazy, people are full of shit. It's time to defund all the idiots.
That's correct.
You all law enforcement dead and gone, dancing in a circle, singing kumbaya. When somebody breaks in your house and jacks your car, there's no one to help you and no one to call. There's no law enforcement around, just a matter of time. You won't recognize your town. Murder and plunder and thieves everywhere, leaving good, hard-working Americans in despair. We're back in green, brown, or blue. Do us right, baby, how about you? World's crazy people full of shit. It's time to defund all the idiots. It's time to defund all the idiots. I'm not sorry I hurt your feelings. The truth is what it is. You could live in your fantasy world, and it will end when we defund all these idiots. Defund all the idiots. I'm sick of this shit. Defund all the idiots. Defund all the idiots. Defund all the idiots.
Well, guess what, folks? We got Andy Orlando. Sounds like an Irish woman made love to a Mexican man.
I like it. I like it.
Dude, we're so stoked today because I'm a Jeep owner. He is part of the biggest club in North America. And we made a beautiful video showing, like, oh my God, his Jeep is insane. You freaking insane. You better just respect the Jeep. It's crazy good. It's crazy awesome. And I can only imagine how wonderful it would be to be part of that. Oh, just look at your butt crack. Look at that.
Yeah.
We got to fix that. We have a butt crack cam right now.
That happens.
Hold on, butt crack cam. Okay. All right, Andy. Well, we're going to start out this show just talking about the history of Jeep just a little bit, and we're going to get in, and I just want you to roll through. You got so much to say. You've been through so much in the Jeep life, and we're going to play that song and that video that I made specifically for you and your club, and we're going to go ahead and start it, and we're going to have 5-0 kind of narrate some of this.
All right.
The Jeep.
American workhorse.
American workhorse. When you think of United States and all the vehicles that come to mind that just emanate the United States,
Dude, I'm with
what
you.
do you think of?
Prius.
The what?
The Prius.
The Prius?
The Tesla.
What the hell?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong show.
It's
the fucking Jeep
It's the
Wrangler,
Jeep.
bitches.
The Jeep. The Jeep came about because of World War II. Did you know that?
Yeah, and there was a couple different contractors that were kind of involved. Willys Overland, and you also had American Bantam, and they only had 15 employees, and they had a rundown shop, and they were about to close the doors. But they went in. The government gave them the initial contract. They worked on the first couple prototypes, and then they handed it over to who?
Jeep.
Willie.
Yeah, Willys.
what you play with all the time.
Yeah.
So this company, so when the Army came to him and Bantam had this idea, they liked the idea so well that they didn't think the Bantam could actually produce the Jeeps in the time frame and the amount that they were looking for.
If I remember, it was a 46-day turnaround before the government started to fine you.
It was a 46-day turnaround. So instead of going with Bantam and their original idea, the U.S. Army took that idea from Bantam and they gave it to Willys. And they told them build this. So with a couple of little different tweaks, Willys ended up with the contract for this particular vehicle for World War II, and it was just from there on.
And it helped us literally win the war.
Yeah, absolutely. They came. The Army thought Bantam lacked the production capacity, and that's basically what happened. So the Willys company, they decided to build the test for this for the Army, and they presented it to them, and they really liked it because this was a vehicle that could literally be built in less than a day.
Hell, they could put it in a crate, ship it over, just like we're old enough, and I'm fine. I'll date myself. I don't give a shit. But remember the models we'd like to pull out, and they were all like attached to like these plastic.
You had to break the pieces off.
Right. You break the pieces off. Yeah. It wasn't quite like that, but it really was a rector set of a vehicle that came in boxes, and they literally could finish it depending on how skillful the people building it were in hours.
Oh yeah.
And it was up and running. It was down the road, and it was helping us win the war and put the Nazis in their place.
Absolutely.
What is more important than putting a Nazi in its place?
You're absolutely right. There were 145 of these particular Jeeps supplied to each and every Army regiment that was in World War II.
And replace the horse.
And replace, well, I mean,
it did. World War I was a lot of horse, pulling wagons, a lot, and unfortunately, a lot of horses, and it's sad, were killed in those wars, those battles, and that was one thing that was tragic for me because I'm an animal lover, and they're delicious too, so pick and choose. But yeah,
what the hell did you just
listen? You got a bacon shirt on with the American flag.
Listen, pigs are
how
phenomenal.
dare you? It's an IHOP shirt.
I love pigs. I mean, you have pork, you have bacon.
So,
oh my gosh.
But let's get to what's important here. Let's get into Andy Orlando, and this is his life. He's living the Jeep life, everybody.
Let's ride.
Because on this mountain, now won't be left behind. Jeep life, I'm living my best Jeep life. Yeah, I'm hanging out the window looking at everybody like, yeah, I thought for sure we were going to lay it over. What's happening? I'm living, I'm going to get up this impossible trail. Yeah, I'm fixing her up so she won't fail. I got friends in front and friends behind. Getting up this steep old climb, that's right.
Man, that's crazy, Andy. Yeah. Look at that. Look at the length of your Jeep. And look at the spread on your axles between wheel to wheel, front and back. It's just insane. I mean, I own a Jeep, but mine's a glorified grocery getter.
It is definitely not the traditional Jeep you run into on the trails.
No. At all. All right, everybody. Once again, Andy Orlando. We are going to go to Butt Crack Cam and then right back to him. Nice. So tell us a little bit about your club and the significance that it has on the Jeep world here in America.
So Midwest Jeep Thing again, largest Jeep only club in the United States. We're way up in the thousands, tens of thousands of members right now.
Oh, wow.
We got a lot of paid members too. You can join the Facebook group and the website, and it's free to everybody. And then we also offer paid memberships, or just $25 a year, that come with a ton of discounts.
Does it come with a toe strap?
It does come with a toaster. Yeah. But I mean, if you're doing anything with your Jeep at all, the membership pays for itself 100 times over. I mean, we've got great discounts with a lot of different vendors and stuff. We host a couple of 101 events every year. We one in the spring, one in the fall for people that are new into Jeeping. We take them out and we introduce them to trail riding and how to do things properly and safely. And then we do a couple of advanced classes for recovery where we'll teach people safe rigging and trail spotting and guiding and stuff like that. And then we do several members-only trail rides throughout the year, and then we do a couple every year that are open for everybody. Even if you're not a paid member, you're welcome to come on out and wheel with us, and it's a really good time.
Well, that might invoke new members going out and seeing that group and watching everyone, interact and watching the skill level. And I was watching one of your videos, and you got a little door damage from a spotter.
Little, that happens.
He was spotting by Braille that day,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, that happens sometimes. I think that was probably my buddy Bill Adair. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He does that to me.
Bill,
every now and then.
learn your shit, man.
Yeah.
No, Bill, listen. Okay, you maybe it was a bad day.
No, I think Bill does that to me on purpose.
Okay, listen.
It's usually not an
A
accident.
lot of people are jealous of that Jeep, including myself. Dude, that thing is absolutely amazing. So my other question is how long did it take you to build? And I know there's a name for that Jeep. I want you to tell me that name and then give me the kind of history of that build of that Jeep.
Okay, so we call that Jeep as Project Overkill JT. JT is just the Jeep model designation on it. That's what they call all the Gladiators, is JTs. We bought that Jeep brand new. It's a 2020. The original idea behind that was we were going to use it. We might do some small lift, maybe a little bit bigger tires on it.
Oh, you threw that in the dumpster
that
and set it on fire with what you did with that Jeep.
So the idea was we were going to use that one kind of mild stuff, and we were going to buy a Wrangler. We were going to buy a JOU to actually build, but I don't know, shortly into it, I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different. I mean, everybody builds Wranglers. I mean, going all the way back from CJs up through the current JLs, not a whole lot of people had built the Gladiator. I mean, it was a brand new platform. So I would say the first time it started to get pretty serious is when we did the 1-ton axle swap on it. And that was probably after we had only had it about 6 or 7 months. We pulled the stock axles out of it. We put a Dynatrac XD60 up front and a Pro Rock 80 in the rear. And at that point in time, we were running a 43-inch Baja Pro XS from Mickey Thompson. Ran that for a while.
You hear that, my friends in San Diego? Take note.
And then we went to the sticky version of that tire, which is just a different compound strictly for trail riding, which is the Baja Pro X. And we ran that in a 43 for a while. Then I had a buddy of mine, Chris Witt, that owns ARW Off-Road down in Texas. We pulled the factory bed off of that Jeep, and we had that custom bed built, which took about 16 inches off of the rear. And it replaced that thin factory sheet metal with actual 1/4-inch steel, so it would take it to the abuse a little bit more, help us greatly with the departure angle on stuff, because that was one of the biggest things. You're coming down off these hard rock ledges and stuff with that overhang on that factory bed. You were
clanking on stuff,
you were
right?
banging the shit out of it. I mean, it was
And that
horrible.
thicker metal is easier on your spotters when they screw up,
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Yeah, exactly. So we
Adair.
did that, and then we did the Moto built frame shot bumper on the front of it. Took a lot of length out of the front too, and that got rid of the front crash bar on it, the front sway bar disconnect system, which is electric, has a big electric motor on it for the Rubicons. So we got rid of all that. That motor tucks up under there, cuts the frame horn, or that bumper tucks up under there, cuts the frame horns off, welds right to the bumper. So yeah, we took a lot of length, took a little bit of length off the front, took a whole lot of length off the rear, which helped a lot. And then beginning of this season, we had a 12-point cage in it, and then we went to a 46-inch Mickey Thompson Baja Boss, which is what's on it now.
Now, I'm just going to ask you this. I'm sure, and I'm sure your wife would not like me to ask these questions about how much it costs, but and your family, I'm sure they're all eating top ramen right now.
If we're lucky.
But yeah, my question is, from the date of purchase to the current beautiful monster, and everybody, you saw that main Jeep in that video in Jeep Live is his videos, is Andy Orlando's wonderful Jeep. And I just want to know how long it took from inception to the complete build that you have right now?
To where it is right now, right at about 2 years.
Okay. So I know you run your own business. Go ahead. Let us know what your business is.
Yeah, my wife and I, April, and both of our kids, we run Troy Produce Patch. It's just a seasonal fruit and produce business over
Okay.
in Troy, Illinois.
Oh, your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah,
Edwardsville.
we're right down
so-
the road.
Yeah, right down the road. My other question is you have to have an understanding family and spouse to do anything. Like myself, I'm a musician, and you can see the studio here. I created this. It's a lot of time to do something like this.
Oh, yeah.
And your Jeep, man, just the whole thing, the whole, you're in the club, a major part of it. You travel, you build, and you're constantly, well, hopefully you're done, except for the dents you have to fix because you're a spotter.
Yeah.
But you spend a lot of time on your hobby. How has your family embraced that?
Yeah, and I'm on the road a lot. And it works out good. My wife's really understanding about it. And she supports the hobby of mine, and my passion for it.
Good woman.
Yeah. Luckily I'm fortunate that we own our own business. So, we've got
You have that flexibility.
Yeah, and we've got a good crew, and a lot of I try and get her to go out with me on some of the trips. Some of the bigger trips she'll go on with me, but other than that, she's been awesome. She's been really understanding about staying back and help run the business while I'm gone. I mean, yeah, generally I've probably got somewhere between a dozen to 15 big trips a year that I do.
Oh, you lucky cuss.
That'll have me gone anywhere from, I might be gone 4 days to 7 days, depending on where it is. We travel all over the country. That Jeep's been all over the U.S.
What's your wife's name?
April.
April?
Yeah.
We celebrate you. You're amazing, and more women need to support their men so the men can support their women.
Yeah.
That's all I say. So what do you got to say about this 5-0?
I'm kind of curious of how you got started in this to begin with.
Midwest Jeep thing, actually. I started, I remember my dad had Jeeps growing up. My dad had an old Cherokee Chief, that we would go do.
Yeah.
Mild off-roading on. Nothing like this,
But dude, they can get it, dude.
Yeah.
I am testament. I've had my friend Hans, rest his soul, his ashes are in that big chest that's right there on that TV stand. He used to take his Jeep Cherokee, and we used to go up some crazy inclines. He would take it to, and he put bigger tires on and stuff. He would take it to Gordon's Well and Glamis and just bomb the dunes with it, man. Yeah. So they're capable. But anyways.
But yeah, that stuck with me as from being a kid, and then when I bought this one and started running with Midwest Jeep thing a lot, I had been a member of the club for a few years from previous Jeeps that I had. This is the first one that I've ever really built though. But yeah, it was pretty much involvement with the club and attending my first Jeep stock, which is that club's capstone event every year, and it kind of went from there.
So tell me about this Jeep stock that you just mentioned. So what is that all about?
So Jeep stock.
Do you guys roll around in the mud?
Yeah.
Like the last Woodstock?
Some guys do. I try
Set everything on
mud.
fire and poo anywhere you want to.
Yeah. Mud is the devil. I try and avoid the mud. I don't like mud.
Well, sand too. Mud gets in there and gets inundated on your
Everywhere.
stuff,
It gets
and
in every damn thing.
And that's one thing that I'm born and raised in San Diego, and I bought my Jeep out here, kind of a midlife crisis thingy, but I did it for very purposeful reasons, and I love the Jeep, I always have. And one thing I do worry about, maybe you can give me some advice, is that on these roads out here, there's a lot of weather, and to combat the ice, combat the snow, they put chemicals on the road. And one thing, he currently 5-0 currently is literally getting his truck repaneled. A lot of his metal has rusted out, and he's trying to take care of that. Now, for someone like me that has a newer vehicle that wants to protect that vehicle from the elements, because of not only Jeeps hold their value, but you want to stay around for a while.
Yeah.
What do you think the best thing to do as far as taking care of your Jeep and protecting for the most part, the undercarriage?
Yeah, there's a lot of different companies out of there. What's becoming more and more popular, and that I really like the idea of using, is they've really developed what commonly was known as spray and bed liners.
Like rhino lining.
Yeah, and I work with a company specifically called Patriot Liner. That's who I had the inside of my entire tub is sprayed with Patriot Liner. Josh is somebody that I had met on the trail, through different off-roading adventures and stuff like that. And he owns Patriot Liner. It's a guy that owns a company. It's a fantastic company. And
Is it local? Where are they located?
they're based out of Louisiana, but they've got They've got a ton of different little, not little, but a ton of different dealer networks and stuff that they work with, different off-road shops and different 4x4 shops.
That's great.
And body shops and stuff you can go to get their product applied. I mean, and I really like it. Josh is a really good guy. The product offers us a great warranty. He gets out at the events and, wheels with his customers and supports the industry a lot. So that's the product I personally recommend.
And one more time, just for our listeners, so they can contact him. What's the name of the company one more time?
It's Patriot Liner. And you
Patriot
can find
Liner.
them Facebook, Instagram, on all the social media channels.
Okay, yeah, check them out. And my SD family, which I have an extensive, huge friendship circle in San Diego. And like I said, before we got on the show, we were talking about certain things, certain aspects, and I've got a lot of people who are so diehard when it comes to Jeeps, and I was hoping I didn't have enough time with the crunch to kind of get some of their stuff in here as well, but that'll be for another day. But it's nice that you're speaking of all these different aspects of not only your club, but the different companies that support and sponsor your club, but also offer all these wonderful abilities for, like myself. I need to check into that.
Yeah.
I want to protect my undercarriage, and I don't want the thing to be rusting out in 5 years. So that's something to really look into, especially everyone in the Midwest, East Coast that have to deal with snow. And all those different aspects where you're going to have people in the city, MoDOT, any kind of, Department of Motor Vehicles, or they're going to put this chemical on the ground, and it's going to affect your undercarriage.
Yeah, that salt solution is brutal. That's it's nasty. Yeah.
So I mean, my only combatant for that is like I always get it like a car wash subscription that does an underwash.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the most important things to do. I mean,
Yeah.
no matter what you do, no matter what you have underneath for a protectant, that's the most important thing, is to get that stuff diluted and get it washed off as soon as possible.
Yeah, I used to be my fiance used to say I was crazy, but every day during the winter here, and I've only been here for 5 years, and San Diego, we don't deal with that.
Yeah.
But I would go to the car wash every day. She'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "In my Jeep." Uh-oh, it's your wife telling you how much she supports you.
Nah, they don't need nothing important.
So 5-0, you've been very quiet.
I have.
Awkward, dead silence. Hey, man, I love you.
No shit.
That'll break up monotony.
There we go.
So Andy, Project Overkill, is this a particular vehicle that's street legal, or is it built strictly for climbing?
It is built more or less for being on the trails. It is technically still street legal.
I saw the turning signals.
It's got a DOT tire on it. It's got headlights and blinkers and everything it's supposed to have. I think there's some states we probably would run into some issues where I think some of the western states really, and eastern states too, I believe, Pennsylvania being one, where you've got to have your fenders got to completely cover your tires, and then some others have restrictions on how high your bumpers can be off the ground. So we might run into some issues like that, but as well as it's built for being driven off road, I mean, it'll cruise down the highway 80 miles an hour with two fingers on the steering wheel, just like a Cadillac.
So there's very little stock on this thing then.
Not a whole lot left.
Steering wheel?
Yeah, for now, yeah, the stock steering wheel, steering wheel, and the tub. That's about it.
What about the frame? So is it a whole new frame?
The frame's been notched and modified and
welded
and reinforced in areas.
But other than that,
it is still the stock frame.
Stock Jeep frame. So it was also my understanding, and I talked to you a little bit earlier about it, but tell me about this engine you put in this thing.
Yeah, the engine's
Ooh.
You just put a new engine in.
Yeah, the
right?
engine's rowdy. So we took the the thing with the Gladiators is they're heavy vehicles. I mean, they're around 8,000 pounds, I think, 7,000 or 8,000 pounds stock. And then we took that lightweight aluminum bed off of there that was really thin sheet metal and aluminum on the tailgate, and we put that 1/4-inch steel on there. And then you add those heavier axles, you add all the weight from the roll cage and the big tires and stuff. The old 3.6 that they put in there wasn't quite.
And the fully
ponies.
stock cooler in the back of it.
Yeah. That wasn't quite cutting it. So we yanked the factory engine went away, the factory transfer case and transmission went away, and a company called Advanced Adapters makes a transfer case called the Atlas. They've been around forever. That's definitely the sought-after transfer case for Jeeps, which allows you to engage and disengage the rear and the front drivetrain independently.
Oh, really?
So we added that with a GM transmission. We ended up putting a 4L80E in it with a manual valve body, so it's basically a manual transmission, but you got to just shift. Basically a manual transmission without a clutch.
Right.
And then I got a hold of
almost like a paddle shift type situation, or
yeah, it's just manual ratchet shifter.
Okay,
I use a gated shifter.
Okay.
People are common to them in race cars. And then for the engine, I managed to find a brand new crate engine. And it's a supercharged Gen 5 LT4 out of a ZR1 Corvette. So right now, we had a little bit of head work done on it. Bigger throttle body, smaller pulley on the supercharger to kick the boost up.
Yeah.
So right now we're probably 680-ish at the crank. We're pushing right at about 700 horsepower in it.
So with the smaller pulley and stuff like that, are you still running pump gas, or are you running?
I end up running premium in it for the most part, and
Sure.
then a company called VP Fuels makes an additive called Octanium.
Yes.
That it's basically just a race fuel additive, which will kick regular 93 octane up somewhere around 105, 106.
So you're looking at a 700 horsepower engine to go 5 mile an hour.
Yeah, sometimes, but you need the power every now and then.
So with all the modifications and things like that, what would you say curb weight is on this thing right now?
If I was guessing, we're probably sitting somewhere in the 9,000 pound range.
Probably closer to 10,
Yeah,
if
probably,
I would guess,
yeah,
with the
probably.
1/4 inch bed.
teetering
Yeah.
between.
We've weighed it like rough estimates a few times, where we've had it loaded up on the trailer and we took the truck and trailer through the scales at a truck stop, but then you're best guessing on
Right.
Okay, how much
Right.
shit's in the truck and us and how much stuff's in the Jeep. So yeah, somewhere in the 9 to 10 range though.
So with all the modifications and things you've done, have you done these yourself?
No. Well, I mean, we did some stuff. So the first big project that we did on that was when we added the hydro assist steering and those axles. Yeah. And
that'd be a necessity.
That was actually down at a buddy of mine, Tommy Davis's shop, with some friends. My buddy TJ, my buddy Jimmy, and Tommy's got his own little shop down at his house where friends come down there and do stuff. And
Sure.
I want your spare parts.
Yeah. Yeah, and those guys helped me get that axle. They helped us do the axles and the first set of 40-inch tires and beadlocks and that hydro assist. So, it's been a combination of work. I mean, there's been a few different shops that have helped us out with us, but it's predominantly been a lot of buddies that have put in a ton of time just helping me do it. Because I'm admittedly not the most mechanically inclined guy, but
Sure.
I like to get in there and try and learn, rather than just having somebody do stuff, and because I want to know what's going on.
What happens on the trail,
when
right?
shit goes south and I
Yeah.
got to do something, I want to not be that idiot there that's going, okay, what do I do now?
YouTube, thank you.
So with as big a part of this community as you are, do you guys have sponsors for Project Overkill? Do you guys do it all on your own?
We do a lot of stuff on our own. We've got a lot of companies that we work with that offer us discounts and stuff like that.
Sure.
But we do a lot of the work on our own. The sponsors are pretty much good for helping us out at events and providing stuff to people that are coming to the event. We try and get stuff out. We're basically trying to grow the hobby and keep people interested in it to help us. The more people we have in there, the more people we have out there making sure that these public trail systems stay open and these private parks, have the business and stuff to keep going and keep growing. So that's really the objective there.
So you said you do between 10 a dozen, 15 big trail climbs a year.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorites? What are some of your most memorable?
I like out east a lot.
Zipper, and that's the only way I can.
All
do
right,
it.
so we always have to. Oh, get up here!
Get the Yeti up
you
here.
Gotta
man.
get the Yeti.
Oh,
Mojo. We love our Mojo. He's our mascot, and he's always ever present. Oh no, Nidalo, she's so jealous. We've got to know. So you know what? We have got to love the Mojo. Mojo love in the background. We love our Mojo, but you know what? We also love our Nala. We have two dogs at the Troglodyte and 5-0 Spaceship Basement Show. We have Mojo and we have Nala, and you can't see this little beautiful pit bull. She's right here. He'd pick her up, but he's afraid that he'll get bit in the nose
she'll
again.
Bite me in the face. She'll bite me in the face. I've seen it done.
Dude, he should. He should. She should. Everyone should bite you.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we've had a good show. We've had a good piss in the backyard,
get out of the
which
way.
is
Yeah.
awesome.
Dog.
Holy crap.
Dog.
Someone's calling me and they can go to hell.
No. They're trying to check on your car's extended warranty.
Oh, yeah. Yo. IRS. You owe IRS.
So we're back
Anyways.
here with Andy Orlando. We're talking about Midwest Jeep thing and his project Overkill. This Jeep is, I mean, it's
It's
ridiculous.
a monster.
It's
Dude,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous.
He has a supercharged Corvette engine at this point in this thing, underdriven to produce more boost. All for that 700 horsepower this thing's pushing for
Look at that in the background.
for the
Look at that in the background.
for the 5 mile an hour.
Yeah.
They go up these things. What kind of torque? Do you have any idea what kind of
And
torque
what
that
kind of
thing
gas
is?
mileage do you get?
Gas. If you have to ask, you can afford it.
Yeah. Torque. He's not lying. I mean,
He's not lying.
Torque's in the mid sixes on it, 600, about 600.
No
on it,
kidding.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, you're talking about a 600 foot-pounds of torque beast, man. This thing's about between 9 and 10,000 pounds, are we
Yeah.
assuming? Man, to pull this thing up some of these inclines, and you can see in the background some of these climbs that Andy's made with Project Overkill, and some of these things are, I mean, they're almost, I mean, you're talking 80-85% grades.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's some gnarly stuff there. I mean, yeah, you've got one clip of us when we were out at EJS.
Where's that at?
Earlier
I
this
mean,
year.
look at
That's
him
in-
back there. That's him right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
That's him right there.
That's in Moab,
This-
Utah, on Pritchett Canyon. That's one of the most famous trails out there in Moab.
Right.
How many
And
times
there's-
have you ran that?
That was actually my first time this year.
Really?
At Moab was my first time on Pritchett.
No kidding. So you actually, it's my understanding that you also train new people in how to make climbs and how
Yeah,
to
we
recover.
do. So, I help with. I've helped with some of the 101s before in the past.
Sure.
And then me and a couple of the affiliate shops have helped with recovery training before and safe rigging and stuff like that. And that was, that was self-learned by some some mistakes in the past.
You know
Yeah,
what?
we
It's
were
trial
running-
and error, man.
Yeah, we were running Carnage Canyon, which is a pretty gnarly trail. But yeah, we ran Carnage Canyon out in Buena Vista, Colorado. I was out there with some friends from Crawl 5280 shooting a documentary called, why am I drawing a blank on it now?
Well, that's all right. We can keep going.
Are you pizza drunk?
Yeah, I might be pizza drunk. that might be. But we had broken the rear drive shaft of my Jeep. And Carnage Canyon is one of the gnarliest trails out there. And we had broken the rear drive shaft, so we're trying a combination of drive and winch this big ass thing all the way through the trails. And we got to the exit, which is a pretty steep rock ledge that you've got to make a hard right-hand turn to get out of. And we were running my winch out. We had that winch hooked up to a snatch block on a recovery point in the mountain.
He said
Yeah.
snatch.
Yeah, and that snatch block and that line
I like
broke.
it.
So we had the snatch block through a soft shackle on
He said
recovery
snatch
point,
again.
and the soft shackle broke, and it sent the snatch block back through the windshield of the Jeep. Yeah.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, I mean, luckily I was leaning out the passenger side so I could see the spotter.
Was that part of the video where you said that you were actually leaning out the window?
I don't think we've got it in this one.
No,
okay.
no.
All right.
But yeah, that snatch block came all the way through the windshield and like scraped my shot. I mean,
Oh, dude.
if I would have been
Final
sitting,
destination
Yeah, oh,
shit
yeah.
right
Yeah.
there, dude.
if I would have been sitting like in the driver's seat regular, that bitch would have for sure killed me.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So what kind of support staff do you have on site with you? I mean, do you have medics or anything, or do you have?
We do at some of the bigger events, and that's actually a buddy, Don Stewart, who's a paramedic out and
Bless you, Don.
out that way. And yeah, he does for like when we do Jeep stock and we do some of those bigger events where there's a lot of potential for things to go wrong with these guys running the
Sure.
extreme trails. Yeah, we've always got a paramedic there for that.
So these bigger events, do you also have vendors that'll sell replacement parts, or?
Generally not.
No?
You've got like when we do Jeep stock, we've got another. We've got a shop out, and that's a club sponsor out in St. Peters, Missouri, called Axle Boy. They always set up there, and they always have their staff on hand to help people
Sure.
with repairs. Another one is Roy Teeter, owns PEM Racing Gears and Driveline out in St. Clair, Missouri. He's always there with his people to help with any driveline issues, U-joints, any stuff that might come up. So there's a lot of sponsors that are always good about making sure they've got parts and stuff at these bigger events.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, some of these other things we do, like Trail Hero. When we do EJS is in Moab in the spring, and then Trail Hero is in Hurricane, Utah in the fall. There you've got, that's also a part of a trade show. I mean, it's trade show and wheeling. So, you've got, generally, unless something really goofy happens,
right.
You've always got multiple vendors you can go to for parts and usually get back up and running.
Sure. What about support staff as far as like mobile welders? Any kind of fabricators that are on scene to help?
Yeah, you usually get guys like that. One of the guys that I wheel with a lot, Scott drives a rig called Trail Reaper, and he's a really good welder. One of the things that's become real popular, a lot of people are doing, they make an actual suitcase welder called the Carnage welder.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
And that thing's awesome. I mean, it on a full charge. I mean, it's totally portable, so you can take it from rig to rig on a full charge. I mean, you can do a lot of welding with that thing on one full charge.
At least get a Jeep up and running,
enough
get a frame fixed to a certain extent to get out of the situation they're currently in.
To at least get you off the trail.
Right,
yeah.
That's awesome.
So are most of these rigs that you guys run with, are they trailered there, I assume?
Yeah, most of the guys trailer stuff there, just in case, you end up with something goofy that happens. Because we're generally always running harder trails. I mean,
oh yeah,
luckily
we can see that.
We've never had anything like catastrophic happen. We've had some Jeeps catch on fire before.
Sure.
We got them out quick, but, you might burn up wiring harnesses and stuff, enough to where you're going to keep it from being mobile and being able to be driven anywhere.
Right.
Well, that and hell, they get, 5 miles to the gallon on a good day.
At best. You
downhill,
mean 5 gallons to the mile?
Downhill with a tailwind.
Yeah, in neutral.
Yeah.
With the engine off.
Right.
With 3 mules pulling.
Yeah, no kidding. So a lot of these guys trailer these things to them. I mean, so as far as like Project Overkill goes, I mean, you guys have I can't even wrap my head around the amount of money that you might have in this thing. Oh. Is this one of the more expensive rides?
Remember we talked about his wife and not hurting her feelings?
That's why I didn't say anything.
He's doing the books, okay?
That's why I didn't say anything as far as money goes. But a lot of these guys, are they running the same type of modified rigs?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a lot of them are. Most of the people that we run with on a regular basis are all same caliber builds. I mean, there are a lot of the guys are all long arms, V8 swapped, big tires.
Well, sure.
So,
I
yeah,
mean, I know
a lot of them. A lot of them are same caliper builds.
Sure.
So my Star Wars Jeep would be like the Bitch Boy Jeep out there.
You'd be like the one that has to run down to 405 or something.
Oh, I'll go get parts for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys want on your pizza?
Who wants coffee?
Yeah.
Fuck you, 5-0.
I mean, you know what? You can go fuck yourself, Tron.
All right, well, what time is it? I do have a regiment.
You have a regiment.
And you know what? Sometimes I'm caveman dumb. Caveman dumb is me. The other day, my beautiful fiance said, why do you complain about me taking your Jeep to work? And the same reason that I think a lot of people with these bigger vehicles worry about is the cost of fuel. And she said, "Fuck you! I'm paying for the fuel." And so
go fuck yourself.
So go fuck yourself. So I just caused an argument for no reason, which makes me caveman dumb. And so I apologize for that. That was just a little digressing moment in my own pathetic life.
Nah, she's a wonderful person, man. You have a wonderful.
She is, and she's just like April. Life. April, for our wonderful guest Andy. Yeah. April, tolerates him
and all the silly shit.
And occasionally she might even support him.
I think a bit. Well, at least for me, a big bit is tolerating me. Yeah. But you know what, guys? I've had such a great time today, and man, Andy, you live a very good life. I'm so happy to have you as a guest.
Glad to be here, man.
Just to meet you as a human being has been a pleasure to me, quite honestly. We have a lot of, I think, common thoughts, and I think America is stronger to have people like yourself in it.
Amen.
And I would like to to stop down for a second and give you an opportunity to talk about again your Jeep Club and sponsors that help you, and Rockstar Garage. Are you kidding me, folks? Rockstar Garage supports this gentleman and his endeavors and the club's endeavors. So if we can take a second and just let you run down the sponsors that you'd like to kind of speak of, because they've been good to you and it's time for you to be good to them on this stupid little show.
Absolutely, yeah. So Midwest Jeep Thing is the local group that we run with. That's the local Jeep club. A lot of local friends. It's based primarily out of Midwest, and then the stuff that I do with now separate from that, so Rockstar Performance Garage puts on a series of events every year called the Great American Crawl, where same concept as Midwest Jeep Thing. The Great American Crawl will be at parks all over the country, 10 to 12 stops a year.
Wow.
We travel to parks all over the country. Those guys are absolutely awesome to be a part of and help with their events and be around with. There's never any charge to attend those Great American Crawl events. They're open up to the public. They're open to anybody free to register. We make sure everybody that comes out, all the drivers get a free event t-shirt. Various different companies provide a lot of stuff. We do free raffles. We do free giveaways. We've always got guided trail runs for people, all the way people in your buggies that want to go do crazy stuff, all the way down to folks in stock Jeeps that have never been off-road.
Oh, that's
We do
awesome.
a free barbecue dinner for everybody every
Yes.
Saturday night. I mean, that's an awesome time. I'm
Dude,
really,
that sounds
happy to-
amazing.
Oh yeah, that's an
You
awesome
you
group of
have
people.
got to invite the Troglodyte and 5
yeah,
to
for
one
sure.
of these
We've got
events.
to come out on
and we have to do a
location.
mobile podcast. 'cause
Yeah.
On
we have the
location.
equipment to do that as well.
Yeah.
To go out and have a mobile. We can sit at a table and record everybody and have a good time. But this is important to me because this is my opportunity to beg for heavenly grace. I want to ride in your Jeep
Oh, yeah,
one
for sure.
day. I
Absolutely.
want to ride in that limo. And by the way, like the top people, even like at Rockstar Garage, they talk about his Jeep as the limo
Yeah.
of Jeeps
Oh, yeah.
out on the trail because it's so big, it's so badass, and it looked like it could have a hot tub in the back if it
Yeah.
wanted to.
Well, I mean, your most of your trail rigs that are out doing these things, you generally want to shoot for a wheelbase somewhere around. Most of these guys are somewhere between 95-ish on the short side, up to maybe 108, 110 on the larger side. I'm 140. I'm just shy of 142 on wheelbase, and I'm 100 and a quarter wide. So
Compensating much?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. it's definitely the bull in a
Talking to
fit
two
right
of the
in on this
smallest
show.
penis-owning people in the
You
universe.
fit right in here.
Hello. It wouldn't be a sword fight. It would be a pelvis bump.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
There
you
we
can,
go.
you can call it what you want as long as the end result's the same.
No,
Right?
That's
it's. I mean, guys, right behind me, this Jeep is absolutely a monster. So if we have anybody out there that's in the Jeep world that wants to send us any information, or be part of the show in one way or another, even if it's just comments, please do so because I'm a new Jeep owner. Nothing like Andy. Andy was Andy.
See, it's not, you'd be with, I feel like though, you'd be out and we'd be on a trail and, I would do something stupid and brake like I usually do in the middle of a trail and you'd be going, this sucks.
No, it doesn't.
No,
Dude,
but we would
no,
definitely
no.
be making fun
I'm
of
a
you.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I'm a desert guy. I had a Quadzilla. I had a fucking a 250 Honda back 86. Last year was made. The Triangle of Death.
Oh, yeah.
I've had a different Yamaha two wheelers. I've had Kawasaki's, and they all break down, and so stuff happens. And you get sometimes you get hurt. I broke a scapula. I've had a peg go into my leg right here, literally from my three wheeler and stuck in there,
Oh.
and meat come out like in a string.
Oh, fun.
So and then be by myself because I'm dumb and I wanted to go on an adventure. So you get stuck out there. So no, that's the time to sit back, relax, enjoy nature, and wait for help.
Yeah.
We're still going to make fun of you, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
I'm
absolutely.
usually making fun of myself too. Don't worry. It's all right.
So besides Rockstar Performance Garage, who else you got there, Andy?
We've got a lot of companies that I've worked with, that have been great. HP Tuners is another great company. HP Tuners does all of the remote tuning and downloadable software. You're in there, you plug right in. They've got an IPV
Yeah.
system that plugs right into your ODB2 port. You know, if you're having issues with your tune and something's not right, you know, you're able to reach out to whoever your tuner is, and you know, man,
They can reset the parameters
man,
right there.
they can email you another tune, and man, you just plug an ODB, you know, you plug it in and download that tune, and you're good to go.
Wow.
Awesome guys, great support. Mickey Thompson Tires has been an awesome company, you know, to work with.
We all
Now
know Mickey Thompson.
Now, I understand that Mickey Thompson's a big supporter of you guys.
Yeah, Mickey Thompson's a big support. You know, and a lot of people, I think, you know, that aren't into the Jeep world, you know, think of Mickey Thompson. They're thinking drag slicks and sports car tires.
No,
We know,
because
which
they're
of course
phenomenal
is
for.
a huge industry.
They cover
Absolutely.
the
They're
gambit
phenomenal for.
of different motorsports.
You
So
know,
Right.
yeah, Mickey Thompson is really good about being actively involved in the sport and the industry, and you know, they're at a lot of the trade shows, and you know, they're pushing information out there, and they make an awesome product. You know, they make a really killer product. I've brand 3 of their different tires in various different sizes, and I've loved them all.
can I ask you one question?
Absolutely.
Now, you've had a wonderful Jeep life so far, and it's far from over.
Yeah.
Now, I love to identify people that are special in my life. They give me power and hope and support me in different ways. Now, is there one Jeep buddy that you have that stands out among any other that you know is special to your heart? Not to hurt all the rest of you people.
Besides Bill.
Not besides Bill and the guy
Apparently
that gave him
Bill's
a
not the
dent in
guy.
the side of his door by shitty
Damn
spotting.
it, Bill.
No, I'm just kidding. That happened. But there's someone that in this sport or currently part of your group that you have a special kinship with, and that kind of stands above everybody else.
You know, I don't really know that I could limit that down to one person. I mean, it's
Shout out a couple people then.
yeah. I mean, locally, I mean, on a local level, man. I mean, I've just met some amazing people through Jeeping that have genuinely turned into be some of my closest friends ever. You know, I've got Jimmy Mart, I've got TJ Schilling, Jason Groos, Bill Adair. I mean, these are guys that I know I could call, you know, at 2:00 in the morning and say, hey, I did
Right.
some stupid shit somewhere, and you know, they're going to come give me a hand, and I mean, they're going to give me 10 cents of shit about
And
it.
that's
but-
fair.
No, that's
Fantastic.
awesome. Hey,
Well, I
can
mean,
we get them on this show? Can we
Yeah,
get
no
some of these
kidding.
guys
well,
on the
some
show?
of them probably.
Yeah,
Some,
absolutely.
yeah,
We'd love
it's-
to have them.
Some people are shy, and
know,
we're
and
not
then,
exactly
you know,
easy to work with.
And those are the
You can
local.
go fuck yourself.
And
I'm
those
easy
are
as
the
hell.
local guys, you know. And then there's guys, you know, that I've met, you know, through the Great American Crawl, through those stops, you know, Mitch Moore and Cameron Cole, and you know, those are guys that are in Michigan and Kansas, and folks down in Texas, you know, folks from all over the world, you know, that I've become really good friends with. And again, they're people that I met, you know, I showed up at an event, you know, somewhere halfway across the country, and you know, these are people that have just become friends with. And yeah, I mean, they're all it's an
That
awesome
must
group.
feel real good.
It's
man.
almost like a family.
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, it is a family,
Absolutely.
and that circle of warmth. Just knowing they're out there in the universe,
Yeah.
and that you guys are gonna cross paths again.
Yeah.
That must be a good, hopeful thing for your life.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so let me ask you something, and we'll kind of end on this. All in all, you have one more run left in your life.
Ooh, good question, 5-0.
Where would you go?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
No, you got to do it now.
You've been all over, Andy. I
we
know
have,
you have.
You're sitting on an electric chair, and we will shock you.
You've had some amazing experiences.
As of right now, if I had one more trip to do,
This is it.
it would probably be back to Buena Vista, Colorado, because I feel like I need revenge on Carnage Canyon since I didn't get to.
Ooh, hold on. Revenge? Why? What happened?
Oh, that's the one where you know, we broke
Butt crack cam.
we broke the rear drive shaft, and you know, we sent a snatch block through the windshield that about decapitated me, and I had to get pulled out of
Oh,
that thing,
we
so-
had
so you
touched on
haven't
that
been back
earlier.
since.
yeah.
You haven't been back to Carnage Canyon
haven't
since.
been back there, so
Oh,
that's
you've
definitely,
definitely got to
That's
document
definitely on the
that.
list.
One final run, ladies and gentlemen, would be
Revenge.
Carnage Canyon in Colorado.
I mean, it might go the same way again, but I'm gonna try it.
There you go.
Yeah,
boy.
it's
Andy,
awesome.
it has been a blast having
Absolutely.
you on
Oh,
the
it's
show.
been a
Been a good time,
pleasure,
guys.
man. It's been a
You've,
pleasure for
I
sure.
mean, it's been amazing. You've been a great guest. You've given us a lot of information. I'm sure we
and
could
you
go
helped us
so
out with the
much
butt
deeper.
crack cam. There we
Yeah,
go.
there's the butt crack cam.
I do these things.
It's no. You're tucked properly. It's
You've,
just
you've given us so much information. I mean, I know we could probably dive into a 3 or 4 hour show.
Oh,
doing
yeah,
this pretty
easy.
easy.
oh easy. And
you know,
we'd
we just-
love to have you back
Absolutely.
anytime you
Absolutely.
want to. do me a favor, get me some of that information so we can celebrate and elevate even in our small way some of the people that have really helped this Jeep Club to be what it is.
Absolutely.
And it's enormous. It's the biggest one in North America.
Yeah.
And one more time, go ahead and tell me about your Jeep Club and your biggest sponsor, and then we'll get out of this.
Okay, so Midwest Jeep Things, the local club. It's events primarily in the Midwest, but we've got members from literally all over the world. You can find information about the club on Facebook at Midwest Jeep Thing, online at MidwestJeepThing.com. There'll be information there about becoming a paid member and all of our events and the benefits that come with that. And then if you're interested more in getting out and about on the road, be sure to check out the Great American Crawl on Facebook.
We are very thankful. We're going to take everyone out with the Jeep Life video that I made for him and his wonderful group. Here we go. Everyone, God bless you, and thanks everybody. I had fun today.
All right, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. The new parts have just arrived, yeah. Man, I need to move the earth, I got to modify, yeah. Because on this mountain, now I won't be left behind. Jeep life, Jeep life, I'm living my best Jeep life.
Yeah, I'm hanging out the window looking at everybody like, yeah, I thought for sure we were going to lay it over. What's happening?
And I'm living, I'm gonna get up this impossible trail. Yeah, I'm fixing to